today we're talking about Daoism and its importance in their practice. So tell me what you know about Daoism really quickly.
Nothing. I don't even know
Zero.
what it is. No.
Okay. So Daoism is a religion that was founded really toward the end of the 6th century BC. So really, really long time ago. Within that founding, there was this guy. His name was Lao Tzu, and he basically was leaving his home.
Mm-hmm.
And while he was leaving his home, he was trying to go and lead a life of contemplation and meditation, just trying to think of his life. And he was stopped by this border patrol officer, this guy who's patrolling the borders. And he was somehow convinced by this border officer to write down his wisdom, all of his teachings, for this border officer to follow the teachings.
Okay.
It's interesting.
And it turned into a religion?
And so this patrol officer continued it, and the guy who Lao Tzu started to continue to follow these, and he had a couple of students that also wanted to follow and lead a life of contemplation and meditation, and that those people taught others, and then it got a lot wider, right? Large scale. And so that Dao De Jung is that central dogma, the scripture that
Okay.
they use as those original writings.
And that's the wisdom.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So the problem that Taoism is trying to solve, because most religions are trying to solve a problem within the world, is the dissonance that they see between human beings and the natural way of life. So just the flow of the universe. And so in order to solve that, Taoists seek to align themselves with the Tao, or the way, of life, using several methods. These methods can include a series of inaction, or it's called Wu Wei, cultivating virtues like humility and compassion, and also meditative and physical practices like Tai Chi, Feng Shui, Qigong, and Zhanzhuang. And each one of those is a specific practice that they use to help themselves to align more with the world and with themselves.
Okay.
Now, today, Taoism is pretty diverse. It has a lot of global influence, and people trying to find their way, trying to find a flow in their life, trying to be more full of harmony with the people around them. But additionally, philosophical and religious Taoists each have separate takes on it. So philosophical Taoists really adhere to the original teachings of that original guy, while Lao Tzu.
Okay.
While the religious Taoists are really focused on ceremonies and temples and the rites that they do in the temples and everything there.
So, do they worship the guy who first wrote down the stuff?
No. So
okay.
They worship people who have achieved that harmony. They call them immortal beings.
So saints?
Kind of. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But really, they worship a god, and they're very monotheistic, but they worship this god that is unthinkable. It is unimaginable for humans to think. Inconceivable, as you would say. A variety of practices within Taoism. Like I said, Tai Chi, Feng Shui, Zhanzhuang. They do a lot of temple work with ceremonies and offerings. They do a lot of festivals celebrating the deities and the immortal ones that they look to. And they do a lot of meditation. I think that Taoism is super prevalent, especially within the global influence that it has, especially because a lot of people nowadays are looking for that peace and a lot of people can find it in some of the practices that are within Daoism. And I think that's pretty fascinating to recognize is all of that.
That's very interesting.
Do you have any questions?
I have a lot of questions about like the more religious side of it, like who like the immortal ones are and how that like connects to whatever god that they believe in, like based on the guy who wrote the stuff.
Yeah. So
Is he like a prophet?
no, it's kind of like you were saying, like with the saints.
Okay.
Like there are people who have achieved that perfect harmony with the Tao or the
so
way.
achieving sainthood.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of like
Like
that.
they have, is there like a qualification? Like you have to do 2 miracles and
I'm not super sure.
okay.
I don't even know if these like immoral beings are like manifestations of the Tao or not. I think what they are is manifestations of the Tao, which is their God or the way. And so like you'll have the sun god, which would be a manifestation of the Tao in that way. They believe in a lot of like opposing things, so like night and day, or like salt and pepper, peanut butter and jelly, like all these things that complement each other.
Is the yin yang Tao?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that comprises of balance. While there's darkness, there's also light.
So like with feng shui and tai chi and stuff like that, Taoism is really prevalent. Like
Taoism was the start of those.
yes. So
yeah,
like
and now it's become like a cultural thing, whereas it used to be solely religious.
yeah. So that's what I was gonna say. That it's like a big part of our culture. We just don't realize where it came from.
Yep.